Bregman going back, and that ball is long gone. A 3-run home run puts the Astros on top 5-3.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hum Baby Baseball channel. And today, the Houston Astros, after an unfortunate injury as Framber Valdez hurt his finger, fractured ring finger on his pitching hand. That is no good. The Astros, who I'm about to talk about in detail, we're going to do a full preview for the 30 and 30. It's time for the Houston Astros. But with that injury, the rotation was looking shaky. But guess what? Jake Odorizzi, the biggest free agent pitcher still out there, has been signed by the Astros. And it was not a definite that this was going to happen because of the finances and things like that. You know, not wanting to get over the tax or whatever. But you know what? The Astros said we need this guy, especially after this latest injury. And Odorizzi, a guy who pitched in just 4 games last season. He had his own injury issues, but he was an all-star in 19. He went 15-7, 3.51 ERA, 178 strikeouts. Ranked on many lists as one of the top 25 free agents in baseball, Odorizzi will be plugged into that rotation that we will be talking about in detail as we talk about the Houston Astros. So for more on Odorizzi and this entire team, don't go nowhere. Don't touch that dial. We're talking Houston Astros, and the Houston Astros, obviously a team that has been in the news quite a bit for obvious reasons over the past year or so. More than a year now, but the Astros were a team that was elite. They finished with over 100 wins, 3 straight seasons, finished 107-55 in 2019, obviously won a World Series, 2 AL championships, and then everything came crashing down with the report from The Athletic, and they had to fire A.J. Hinch, they had to fire their GM, lost draft picks in 2020 and 2021, and it is pretty devastating to lose those first-round picks. Obviously, the Astros now, they would love to show that they still got a winning team here, and now with this signing, that is going to help. They also made some other moves in the offseason, as you can see with some of the arrivals, and Astros coming off a tough year. They finished 29-31, still made the playoffs, and once they were in the playoffs, they started to return to that championship form, and they were looking pretty good, taking out the A's, taking out the Twins, and then giving the Rays everything they wanted and then some in that ALCS. So now, Dusty Baker, second year at the helm for this season. He's got a lot of good, strong talent still on this team in a division that isn't the strongest. So even if you hate the Astros, I would not write them off because they still have more than a good chance to be in the playoffs in 21. And they have brought back Michael Brantley. This was huge for the Astros. They signed Jason Castro, good defensive catcher there, and he came up with the Astros. He was drafted by the Astros in the first round. So he's happy to be back in Houston. Pedro Baez, one of the most consistent relievers in that Dodgers bullpen over the past 7 years. He is here. Signed some other bullpen help, as you can see. Steven Souza Jr., a guy who smashed 30 home runs not too long ago. People forget he's got some pop there. He'll be on a minor league deal. And Jose Siri, who was with the Giants organization a little bit. He was supposed to be like a 5-tool guy. And who knows? See what he can do in the minor leagues. And if he, turns out to be legit, the Astros have him at their disposal as well. So pretty good offseason there. But the biggest move now, well, other than maybe Michael Brantley, has to be Jake Odorizzi, who is going to be plugged into that rotation after the unfortunate injury. And of course, Verlander is out for most of, if not all, the season. So the Astros they absolutely needed that extra depth. And before the signing, I was going to say they might want to do it. Of course, the Angels were a team that I thought should also sign him, but the Astros come up on Odorizzi. Well, let's jump into this team and take a look at what we're going to be seeing in 2021 from the Astros. Here's their lineup. Jose Altuve, obviously one of the bigger names in baseball, a big star career .315 hitter, but he only hit .219 in 2020. Now, obviously, people are going to have their theories. I think there was a lot more to it. I think after hitting 5 home runs in the 2019 postseason, maybe he's selling out for power. He's just got to work some things out. I think he's going to be a lot better. And remember, a lot of guys fell apart for some reason. Star hitters suddenly hit like pitchers. Chris Bryant, Christian Yelich, Cody Bellinger, and so on. What's going on? So I expect all of them to be better in 21. How much better, I don't know, but closer to their usual self, including Altuve. And you got Alex Bregman. He had a down year as well, but he still had an 801 OPS. Definitely was better than an average big league hitter. Had some hamstring issues. He's back to full health and should be close to, his normal self as well. Brantley is back. Powerful left-handed hitter, obviously. The guy has hit 300 in the last 3 seasons, and he's made the last 3 All-Star teams. Probably would have made 4 if they had one in 2020. So what a big accomplishment for the Astros to be able to bring back Brantley and plug him in there into that lineup. Carlos Correa. Carlos Correa is an interesting case. Obviously, the dude is legit. Obviously, he's a great talent, but he has trouble staying healthy. He's only played in over 110 games once in his career, and I was very surprised to see that when I looked at his career stats. So he's always having injury issues. And in 2020, he stayed healthy, but he didn't have his best year. He had his lowest OPS of his career. His power numbers weren't like they should be. So we'll see. He's only 26. I mean, he could have a big 2021. He's going to want to have a big 2021 as he approaches free agency. And he's also, thinking about a big extension or a big payday in free agency. We'll see. But Correa, I think he's going to be pretty good in 21 and stay relatively healthy, but you just never know. I mean, he had injury problems for multiple years in a row, so, there's just no guarantees there. But he's still Carlos Correa, so you still want him in that lineup. Yordan Alvarez coming off knee surgery, so, some question marks in this lineup. You got the names, but just don't know what you're going to get. Once he's fully recovered, though, the dude is a beast. I mean, he can absolutely crush the ball. 27 home runs and just 313 at-bats in 2019. I wouldn't expect that same type of home run production or home run pace, over a full season. He just had surgery. He missed the whole season. Pitchers are going to be, have a better scouting report. They got the de-juiced baseball this year. So, but he's going to hit his share. The dude has ridiculous power. He could easily hit 30 plus, maybe even push 40. So we'll see. And then you have Yuli Gurriel, who also had injury issues in 2020, but when he was healthy, he hit well. He doesn't strike out a lot. He can go deep. He plays solid defense. And then probably the guy I'm most excited about is Kyle Tucker. Tore it up down the stretch, and he's got that powerful left-handed swing. Hit 306 in the playoffs with a home run. I think he's going to have a breakout year in 21. I'm calling it now. Look for Kyle Tucker to hit close to 30 home runs. I'll say 27 bombs, close to 100 RBI. I'll say 96 RBI, and he's going to steal 20-plus bases. So look for Kyle Tucker to be huge for the Astros. Behind the plate, you got solid catchers there. Yeah, they're not going to offer a ton of offense, although Martin Maldonado has some pop. He's going to hit you some homers, but he is a gold glove defender behind the plate. And Castro, who they picked up, like I said, he's good as well, especially defensively. He can frame those pitches, and he's left-handed at the plate. So you got a nice complement, a nice platoon option there. And, obviously in center field, you're going to miss George Springer. There's no way around that. But obviously you got some options. Miles Straw, he's quick. He's going to give you a good on-base average. In the minor leagues, he was around 400. So he can get on base. Struggled a little in 2020, but who didn't? So you have that. He'll get an opportunity this year. And then you have Chas McCormick. He has really made a name for himself in his minor league career. He got drafted in the 21st round. Wasn't expected to be anything big, but the guy just tore up the minor leagues, and here he is, ready to go. He could should get his major league debut this year. And there's another guy, though, I got to let you know about. Other than Steven Souza Jr., who I mentioned, there's a guy named Pedro Leon, an absolute machine out of Cuba. Extreme power, extremely high ceiling. This dude is someone to look for. He should get his opportunity in the minors, and if he does well, he could be in that lineup by the end of the year. I have a feeling he is going to mash. So you got him, and this lineup, you got the names. The talent is there. They just got to stay healthy and productive and be better than 2020 for a lot of them to make a push in 21, to make a real push without those expanded playoffs. You don't have that expanded playoffs to help you out. So you got to play well. But you got Brantley back. You got Tucker. I think he's going to be huge. You got your main guys. Yeah, you're going to miss Springer. But I see a big possibility of Leon. Maybe I'm wrong on Leon, but I can see him, pulling a Juan Soto here. And maybe not Juan Soto good, but he's going to be good, I think. So I like this lineup. Can't lie. I like the lineup. Even if, guys like Correa and Altuve don't return completely to normal, I still think the lineup's going to score a lot of runs. So I'm going to give it a B+. Now for the rotation, obviously you're going to miss Verlander at the top. He's going to miss most, if not all, of 21. And now Framber Valdez is out. Like I said, fractured finger, no good. Bad, man. Bad.
But now they got Jake Odorizzi.
So Jake Odorizzi is a Astro, or going to be, assuming everything works out and this deal doesn't fall through or something. Right now it's just breaking. So Jake Odorizzi, like I said, had a great 2019 with 15 wins for the Twins, a career 3.92 ERA, career 8.6 strikeout rate, but that jumped to 10.1 in 19. And he's probably not an ace, but he is definitely near top of the rotation type and someone that the Astros needed. But we got to talk about the rest of the rotation. Obviously, you got Zack Greinke at the top now. I would assume Greinke will be the ace. He's getting older. His velocity is down, but he is a smart pitcher. He knows how to pitch. He knows how to locate. He knows how to get outs. And in his last 22 starts, he's walked only 18 batters. Great control. And, he had a little bit of a higher ERA last year, but a little deeper inspection shows, I think, that was going to lower out over a full season. So a little bit of bad luck there, but the dude is still legit. And yeah, he's in his late 30s. You never know. He could fall apart, but I got a feeling Zack Greinke is going to be good for a few more years. And Lance McCullers Jr. dominated at Minute Maid, had a 1.42 ERA at home, but he struggles on the road. Now he's another year removed from Tommy John, so that's not the slider, but the curve should be getting some more sharpness there. Jose Rakiti, mentally tough dude with good stuff. Obviously, he impressed the entire baseball world with 5 shutout innings in Game 4 of the 2019 World Series. In 2020, his strikeout rate was down, but he pitched well enough to have a sub-3 ERA. And in the playoffs, he showed some 97-mile-an-hour heat. Look for Urquidy to be huge for the Astros. Christian Javier, a guy that is a rising star for the Astros, and his importance, he's extremely important for this rotation with that slow sweeping slider. The righties can't touch it. He finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year, and he didn't have great velocity, but like I said, with that slider, he could strike out 200 batters. So all of a sudden, with this signing, the rotation went from looking very iffy, very average at best, to possibly good again. Maybe not, absolutely elite, but definitely nice again with Odorizzi in there. So there's going to be some options here because obviously, I'm sure those 5 won't just go through the season perfectly unscathed. There's going to be some injuries and whatnot. So Luis Garcia was the guy I thought was going to be the front runner for the 5th spot before this signing. He looked great in 2020, very small sample, hadn't pitched above single A before his major league debut. So, he may need some more seasoning. Brandon Belak, another solid option. He didn't pitch too well last year, but another guy with great stuff, should get a crack at it. And Forrest Whitley, one of the Astros' top prospects. He got roughed up in AAA in 19. I think he'll need some more seasoning as well before his big league debut. But the Astros liked what they saw from him in the alternate camp. At least that's what they're saying. So who knows there. So a lot of good, strong youngsters that are part of the Astros' future. Maybe not ready to be full-time starters in the big leagues yet. And that's why Odorizzi is such a big move. But as I was saying, the rotation suddenly looks a lot better. But I was going to give it a C before this signing, and this bumps it up to a B-. Jumping into the bullpen for the Astros, it was inconsistent, but, good. It had a lot of really good young pitchers in 2020, and they made some improvements. You got Ryan Presley, of course, is coming back. He won the closer job. He was good in 2020, finished with 12 saves. And you think about 12 saves in a 60-game season with a sub-500 team, that's a lot of damn saves. Got a nice 3-pitch mix. He's got a nice slider, mid-90s fastball, and then that core of young relievers like Andre Scrub and Enoli Paredes. And they did well. They limited runs, but they struggled with command. If you look at their stats, they walk too many batters. But you got Paredes. He's nasty. And with a year under his belt and with his, minor league stats, this dude, just watch for him. He could be legit. And after that, to help those youngsters out, the Astros had to get some veteran experience and some veteran success. And they bring in Baez. They bring in Stanek. They bring in Cishek. And they're all going to add some much-needed experience to the pen. Sidewinder Joe Smith, he should be back, and he's got some good experience, good strong guy there. And then Brooks Raley, another guy who impressed last year. He racked up 21 strikeouts in 16 innings, got a sick cutter-slider combo. Overall, I like the bullpen as well. I think it's more than solid. I think this team is now more well-rounded than they would have been, with those injuries and with the shaky rotation. Suddenly looking good now. Odorizzi, I think, of course, he could get hurt. Things can happen. Things change quickly in baseball. But as of now, I like the pen. I'm going to give it a B+. And there you have it. The 2021 Astros, a team that's very talented overall. I didn't give any section an A or an A+, but when you have B plus, B, and a B plus, all of a sudden you have a well-rounded team. And when you're in a division that doesn't have any super teams like the Dodgers or Padres, like we got to deal with in the National League West, you got a good chance to make the playoffs. You got a really good chance for a wild card, but they could definitely be in a division title run in 21. So we'll see what happens. Overall, I'm giving them a B plus. And I like this Astros team. Very impressive roster. We'll see what happens. I know they're not the most popular team right now, but I got to give an honest and thorough preview, and that's what this is. So good luck in 2021. Astros fans, shout out to you. Texas Sports TV, shout out to World Traveler. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video, and I hope you'll hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button. And good signing. Jake Odorizzi is an Astro. Have a great day. See ya!
When the Giants come to town, it's bye-bye, baby. Every time the chips are down, it's bye-bye, baby. History's in the making at Oracle Park.